Video, and today guys we're going to be taking a look at the best decks in the new standard format for Primal Clash and On in September of 2016. I've done these videos in the past. I did one for May, March, I think February, and I'm going to continue the trend because there's a new format, new cards, awesome things. So let's take a look at the best decks here in standard format of September 2016. So we're going to go off this list by looking at in order from Mega Rayquaza to the end. So Mega Rayquaza, this is a deck that people were playing and it got a lot of hype because Mega Rayquaza was really OP before, but when you had to deal with stuff like Joltix, Manetrix, I mean, it kind of fell off, but not really. It's still a very powerful deck. In the standard format now, the deck is still doing really well, and I'm not really seeing it as much as I am, whereas I should be, but it's still a very strong deck. And easily one of the best decks to use, in my opinion, in the standard format, since there's not really many lightning type attackers right now to really shut down Mega Rayquaza completely. It's a very good deck and is seeing some good play. The next one is a combo of decks. We have a Darkrai Giratina deck, or just Giratina in general. Darkrai Giratina is a deck that has already seen a lot of success and a lot of play, so when you combo it, it's a deck that already saw play before, and it's still seeing some good play in standard now. It is arguably one of the best decks within the standard format right now, and it definitely makes that claim for being a powerful deck. Dark Pulse is an insanely good attack for Darkrai with max elixirs, having double dragon energies to help you out. It just makes Darkrai OP. Darkrai Giratina Garbodor has been a very powerful combo, and continues to be. Giratina itself is seen play with stuff like Xerneas Break, and also with, you know, maybe Reshiram, and I've even seen it in Vileplume here and there for standard right now. Then we get into Rainbow Road Xerneas. This is another deck that arguably could be the best deck right now in standard, since a lot of people are playing this. I'm running into this deck a lot, and it's for a good cause. It's a very good deck. The deck relies on using a ton of different types, and its main focus is having the dual type we got in Steam Siege, with stuff like Galvantulas, Bisharps, Volcanion EX. Giving two types for one on the bench makes Rainbow Force an incredibly, just helps attack it. It just makes Rainbow Road a very powerful deck. I'm going to be covering a Rainbow Road deck very soon, so keep your eyes out for that also. And then obviously we've got Xerneas Break, which is seen play. I'm seeing it play with Mega Gardevoir and also Giratina, which is a very fun deck to play at the moment. So Xerneas Break is another good deck right now that is doing pretty good, obviously, as stated. Then we got Zygarde EX. Now, Zygarde EX isn't the most popular decks right now, but it's still seen some plays. People are playing it with stuff like Carbon Break, but they're also playing it with Vileplume, which is, I guess, the more popular version right now, is Zygarde Vileplume. Zygarde Vileplume is a very cool deck, and I do have to try it out sometime, and it's giving Zygarde some light and some play. Then we got Houndoom Mill decks. Now, this is a deck that I love to play. I've always loved playing Houndoom Mill decks because they're just really fun to do. I love Mill decks in general, and Houndoom is one of my favorites, but it is a Mill deck right now that's actually seen some play. I ran in this deck quite a few times playing this game. Obviously, I covered the deck a while ago, and the deck itself is very good right now for standard. If you want to play a Mill deck and have some fun with that, you can play Houndoom Bunnelby. There's lots of versions you can play. Maybe you can try with Vileplume, Slowking, or just, you know, a lot of items, since item lock isn't as easy to do anymore and not even as rare. And now we got Vespiquen decks. Now Vespiquen has died off exponentially thanks to the loss of Battle Compressor. Like, you're not really seeing any Vespiquen structure decks anymore. You're usually seeing it as a quote-unquote partner. Some people are trying it out with stuff like Klefki and Unknown, but its main partner right now is Mega Break. So, well, Karen is literally, like, out right now. Vespiquen, I don't know if it'll continue to see play, especially for the October video I'll do. We'll see if Vespiquen stays on. Then we got Mega Septile. Now, Mega Septile is seeing a little bit more play than regular Septile right now, since regular Septile relies on Ariados and other grass decks like Mega Break really give that deck a hard time, but Mega Septile has been getting a little bit of traction right now. It's a pretty powerful combo. I mean, one, you have the ability to, you know, prevent all effects your opponent's abilities done to this Pokemon, but you also have the attack Jagged Saber, which does 2 for 100, which is extremely easy to do, and then you can just possibly fully heal off a Pokemon on your bench, which it's a cool combo when you can get the Mega Septile combo going like it. So it's given Mega Septile some play right now. Then we got Mega Break, which is another deck that's been catching a lot of play. Mega Break has the attack Barrier Break, which does 100 damage, but well, they're gonna run it with the other Yanmega with the ability that allows you to attack for free. No energy is required as long as you have 4 cards in your hand. So ways to manipulate that, and also running stuff like Judge really does help. And it's been giving Yanmega break decks a lot of play right now. With the normal Yanmega 2, it's mainly the reason why the deck's being so popular right now. It's mainly seen play either by itself or with Vespiquen. The Vespiquen version is the most popular one at the moment, and it's just a little grass combo. Then we have Mega Scizor. This deck is also probably seeing, honestly, the most amount of play in the entire format right now. Mega Scizor has the attack Iron Crusher, which does 2 for 120, which is very powerful because you can discard a special energy and a stadium in play sometime, which is very powerful. The deck's seen play with Garbodor and using a lot of stuff like hammers, and it is a good deck right now. It's a disruption kind of deck. It's an annoying deck. It's starting to get on my nerves, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a fun deck, and again, it's probably like one of the most popular decks out right now, and especially of September. And then we have Mega Alakazam decks. Mega Alakazam has a chance to shine thanks to the loss of stuff like Pumpkaboo, and it really does give decks like Mewtwo Y a run for their money, and it just gives it, and it's just a powerful deck. Now, you did lose Dimension Valley, which hurts it a bit, but it's still seen play. I even saw Squeaky make a Mega Tyranitar Mega Alakazam deck, and that's pretty crazy. Mega Alakazam is another Mega Evolution deck that is catching in some play right now. And then we have Mega Gardevoir. This is another deck that's seen some good play right now. Despair Ray is a pretty strong attack, but it also has a dual typing, which makes it even better. Dual typing is good because you have both Fairy and Psychic, meaning you can hit for Psychic weakness and Fairy weakness, meaning you can knock out Giratinas and even one-shot Mega Mewtwo Ys, which is very powerful. Mega Gardevoir EX right now is another deck that is shining fluently. And then we have decks that can use Mew. We've seen some Mew Jolteon Regice decks, and we've also seen some Mew used in other decks. I've seen it played in Yveltal decks, Darkrai decks. All kinds of decks are running Mew for the attack and counter. It's a nice one prize knockout that it takes, and it also allows you to not have to lose that EX Pokemon right away, and it's a very interesting card, and it's seen some play in some decks right now. Then we have Mewtwo Y, which is seen play with Garbodor right now, mostly. I've seen it played with stuff like Zoroark and Baby Yveltal and Xerneas, but right now it's mainly seen play with Garbodor. I covered a video on this deck a while ago, and this is why. It's just a very powerful deck, and it could arguably be the best deck in Standard right now since it's seen a lot of play. And Mewtwo Y is a very powerful card. Thanks to the fact that Pumpkaboo rotated out, it has a chance to really shine without having to worry too much. You have roadblocks like Mega Alakazam and Mega Gardevoir, but once again, the deck is still performing very well. Then we have Garbodor-based decks. Again, we've seen it with stuff like Mewtwo, we've seen it with Darkrai, we've seen it with Giratina, and we're just seeing a lot of Garbodor right now with different attackers. Since you can't really get rid of the tool card, you have that ability lock on the entire game, which is extremely powerful, since, again, there's literally no way to discard those tool cards, which is just nuts. Then we have Greninja break decks, which are still seeing a lot of play. Though we lost the XY Greninja, it literally doesn't hurt Greninja break at all, since the deck is very powerful, even without it. Some decks didn't even run it. Greninja break is still a very powerful deck right now, using the Talonflame that still ran. It hasn't really changed much since rotation, since it didn't really lose all that much. So again, Greninja break is another very good deck that's being played right now. I've seen Mega Gyarados being played. People are saying that this is the brand new water toolbox, which is true, I guess. And I mean, it is a good deck, and again, it's getting some hype right now as a water toolbox deck. And I've seen it played a little bit, and again, it's giving a chance to shine thanks to lightning type Pokemon not being as good anymore. In fact, there's no lightning type Pokemon in this thing, not even Raichu. And then we just get into Regice. Regice, just a card that's been popping up with stuff like Mew, Jolteon, Vileplume, all that stuff. It's a very annoying card to play against, and I mean, yeah. And then rounding out the Pokemon or the best decks, we have Volcanion EX based decks. Volcanion EX is performing pretty well right now. People are using it with Flareon. People are teching a few of these in their Rainbow Road deck since it has a double type attack. Effect, and then it has the ability Steam Up, which is very powerful, and allows Volcanion decks to really shine because they can do a lot of damage when they stack it off my screen, since they can stack that damage, which is pretty powerful. You're just going to have to deal with this being on my screen. I don't know how to get rid of it. But yeah, Volcanion X, very powerful deck right now. It's really seen a lot of play, and for good reason. But yeah, those are all the decks that have been popping up right now in the standard format. My dog is barking. But these are the decks, or the best decks right now, for standard format in September 2016. I love doing these videos because they're really fun to make, and it's kind of nice to kind of round up all the decks that saw play in that certain month. And I'm sure with this next month coming up, we might get a little more variety. I don't know. There's really like nothing new coming out. I think Evolutions might come out in November. I mean, I know pre-releases are in October. But yeah, we'll find out, won't we, when November comes around the corner and we can talk about all the October-based decks. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more Ptcg videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.